When you first meet someone that you're interested in dating, the first thing that you need to establish is chemistry and then compatibility. What does that mean? Well, when you first meet someone, whether it be out or however you arranged your date, it should be all about getting to know each other, getting to know the other person, opening up to each other, and understanding who both of you are. You want to see if you have genuine chemistry. And what that means is that you have a sense of likeness as well as a sexual affinity towards each other. A sense of likeness can only be established by, as you have conversation, understand where each other are from, what you do, what your interests are, what kind of activities and hobbies you like to engage in, how you like to spend your time. You want to get a sense of the person's vibe and how they live their life. Because you can only genuinely want to be around people. Like, think about your friends. You can only genuinely want to be around people if you guys have shared interests, hobbies, activities, a shared mindset, and a general energy where just hanging out with each other feels good and is something that you want to do. A lot of times guys will approach dating by thinking that if they offer the woman certain dates, or if they're extra chivalrous and they do, deeds to try to win the woman over, that's how they get somewhere in the dating situation. And it's not true. In the beginning, it should be effortless. You should be drawn towards each other. When you're having a conversation, it should be natural, and it should be something that you both enjoy doing. Like, it should feel good to actually talk to the person. If you have chemistry genuinely, you have a shared mindset, shared interest, that's all good. The second thing you want to establish is compatibility, which is somewhat similar but a little bit deeper. You establish compatibility by, after the conversation, you go and do things together. You know what I mean? Go out to a restaurant, go to a lounge, go to a bar, have a drink, go to an outdoor event where there's some live music, maybe some dancing, and maybe go to a farmer's market and see if, when you spend time together, does it click? Like, are you guys a natural fit together? That's compatibility. And I want to give you a couple of things to think about in the early stages of your dating, okay? Number one, as I've already said, it should be about getting to know each other, which means that you should keep the dates relatively casual at first. So number two is casual. You don't need to be taking women that you just met to fine dining restaurants. You don't need to be, taking women obviously on lavish dates, or especially not vacations and stuff that I've heard some guys do. You want to keep it casual and simple, because here's why. It's not that some guys are like, but I go to fine dining restaurants, so why can't I invite her? I feel you. But the thing is, you don't want to be fooled. You don't want to fool each other. So a lot of women are going to say yes to a dinner date at a 4-star restaurant because, who wouldn't? So you want to make sure the date is casual enough that the date itself is not an incentive for the person spending time with you. The incentive should be the fact that y'all have chemistry and y'all want to spend time together because it feels good. So you have to remove the lavishness and the extra investment in the beginning just to make sure that you both have the genuine chemistry. You know what I'm saying? For that same reason, I'll jump ahead a little bit. You want to actually keep sex on the back burner in the beginning. Now, that probably sounds contradictory to a lot of the things that I say in other videos, but feel me. Whenever you have sex, dopamine's released, it's pleasurable, and, it can create a level of confusion. Because it feels so good, you might actually think that you and this person have more in common or are closer or a better match than you really are. So keep the spending to a minimum, keep the lavishness to a minimum, and keep the sex to a minimum in the beginning to make sure you have that genuine chemistry and compatibility. When it's boring, do you like being around that person? You feel what I'm saying? Now, once you really establish that, you go on a couple of dates, okay, and the chemistry and compatibility is there, then we get into what I call equality and balance. So a lot of people are like, when should I really take someone serious, and when is it okay to invest in the other person? This goes for men and women. Well, investment comes in the form of basically spending extra time, energy, money, and engaging in sex with the other person. You don't want to get too deeply entangled, too deeply invested in someone before you establish chemistry and compatibility. So whenever you reach that place where you both like each other, and maybe you're considering making things more serious, seeing each other more frequently, going on nicer dates, maybe even taking a small trip together. Okay, maybe staying at each other's houses, having sex, co-mingling in each other's living space. Okay, now things are getting more serious, you're upping the ante. At that point, here's what I want you to do, men. Consider equality. If you take a woman out on a nice date, first and foremost, the equality means that you're both putting in equal effort, equal treatment. A lot of guys think getting sex is like equal to taking her out on a nice date, or the exchange is like, I took you out, we should have a lot of sex. Don't look at it like that. Number one, sex is a mutual exchange. It feels good for both parties, or it should. Equality is the woman puts in the same level of investment into the dating situation or relationship as you do. So if you're going to set aside your time, spend some of your money, and invest that into the woman, she needs to be doing that in her own way. I'm not saying it's got to be time, or man, I'm sorry, it doesn't have to be money, but she's got to be doing deeds for you, or making an effort to show her interest in the dating situation and relationship. So that's equality. And then balance is that a lot of times men will find themselves after a relationship, right? A lot of guys contact me after they get out of a breakup, and they go, yeah, man, I did all this. I took her on these dates. I would clear my schedule. I would make time for her, but sometimes she would flake. Sometimes she was less available. She would only come over to the house sometimes. And you're out of balance. See, you're putting in all this investment, but the woman is down here. So what's going to happen is you're going to develop a level of resentment and spite towards the woman because you're the one contributing all the investment. So make sure that you're both equally invested so that you have balance in the relationship. Chemistry, compatibility, equality, and balance. If you follow that framework, you will get much better results whether or not the relationship comes to an end. The only reason you would ever feel bitter or heartbroken at the end of a relationship is because some of these elements were missing. Follow this framework, you'll get much better results. And if you want to actually speak with me one-on-one to potentially get some coaching, click the link in my bio and schedule a free clarity call so we can discuss your situation, your desired outcomes, and a strategy for how you could achieve that result. But only click the link if you're serious about leveling up your dating life.